What up, kids? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel. Today for you, I have a different kind of video. You guys know I have a new endeavor, which is dip powder nails, and I've been learning a lot, and so I wanted to share my process with you. I did the best I could to stay in frame and to stay focused. Some of it is not so great, but I did the best I could. So I hope this helps you learn how to do them, or at least gives you a good start. Let's go ahead and get started. So just kind of getting all my stuff ready. I am pushing my cuticles down with a metal pusher because you really need to get the dead skin and cuticle off so that it will not cause the product to lift. Next, I will be using my e-file and using a diamond ball attachment, which just gets right down in there in the crevice in between your nail and your skin. And you would be surprised, you can tell by the amount of dust coming up, you would be surprised how much cuticle and dead skin is still remaining on your nail even after you feel like you've pushed them down. So I will apologize for some of the focus issues. I guess I was moving so fast that it just couldn't stay focused. But at this point, I'm just brushing all the dust off and moving on to the next hand. I have trouble with my non-dominant hand, and so you'll see that I have to kind of contort my hand to get it into different positions and basically be able to do what I need to do for using my left hand to do my right hand, just because it's my non-dominant hand. It's not very strong, and using a power tool, I like to have some stability, so that's why I put my hand down there. And just getting the excess cuticle off. But like I said, some of my footage wasn't good. I cut a lot of it out, but I've left as much as I could to help you understand what's really involved in this process. Next, I will be using a file, a 180 grit file, to take the natural shine off of my natural nail, because you basically kind of have to have a scuffed up surface for the product to adhere to. It will not adhere to a shiny surface. So that's what I'm doing, is going through here and taking the natural shine off of my nail. It looks like I'm getting really jiggy with it, but I'm actually really being gentle and hardly applying any pressure because I want to be as gentle on my natural nail as I can. And like I said, some of this may seem excessive, but I want you to know what it's really like. And if I cut out most of it, then you're going to be like, oh, this is so easy. And then when you get ready to go do it, it's going to seem like it takes you forever. This whole process took me about an hour or so, but the first few times I did it, it was hours and hours because I was just so insecure about what I was doing and didn't know if I was doing things right, and probably overdid everything and still ended up with not as good a set as I can come up with now. But today I am wanting to go for a Tiffany blue look with some silver glitter. I want just beautiful blue-green with some shiny silver, and with one full nail of silver and one nail of ombre silver. I'm taking a toothpick now and going into my color powder and just fluffing it up because you don't want it kind of all congealed together. This is the Model 1's nail prep dehydrator. You definitely have to dehydrate your nail, meaning you're taking all the natural oils off. Any kind of dehydrator, a lot of them are available on Amazon. If you do not have one of these, you can take a mix of acetone and alcohol and clean your nail plate with that. You're basically just wanting to start with a clean surface. This is my double dip base, and this is the line of dip liquids that I'm using for this whole entire application. And this is basically the glue that the powder adheres to. And so you want to be really careful and not to let it drown out your cuticle area. And whenever I dip in, I just stick it in there, take it out, and tap it off. But you don't want to flood your cuticle area. And if you get any on the cuticle or the skin, I used an orange wood stick, and I would go ahead, tap off, and then take my orange wood stick and remove any of the excess that wasn't supposed to be there. Don't recommend this. I saw that there was a blank spot, so I put some in there. That'll kind of put a big rock on your fingers. I don't recommend that, but because it'll really get taken care of on the next dips. And so definitely just let it ride. But I will be going through and putting on 3 coats of this color. I did go ahead and put some glitter on in between. I wish I had just done all of the color and then come back for the glitter, because I got glitter everywhere, including in my color powder. Glitter is just a pain in the tush. It's worth it for the pretty, but it's a pain in the tush. So if I had to give some kind of recommendation, I would do however many dips of the color you're going to do on all those nails, and then come back and do the glitter at the end, or the ombre at the end. And so I'm moving on to my other hand, putting the dip base down, dipping in, tapping off, getting any off of my skin and cuticle, and just repeating that. So I'm just going to let you watch me work for a little while. I'll come back in if I have anything to add. Since this is sped up, I did want to let you know that you do have to give each layer a little bit of time to dry before you go into taking the brush to brush off the excess. Make sure it's good and dry, because if you don't, some of that's going to end up on your brush and you're going to remove some of the product, and you don't want to do that. So make sure and give a minute or two after you've completed the last nail on that layer. Make sure they're dry before you brush off the excess. This was the reason here that I wish I had waited on the glitter, because as I go through here and put the glitter on, I'm getting glitter all over my surface. I'm getting glitter all over my fingers. I'm getting glitter all over everything. And also it has the tendency to get onto the base brush too, and you don't really want that. You'll see later on in between that I will go ahead and wipe my brush after I put it on top of the silver glitter. You'll see me wipe my brush off on my paper underneath, because I want to make sure and get the glitter off, because you don't want glitter in your solid colors if you can help it. I'm now going in with my third dip. I really actually should have done a fourth one. This is a very finely milled powder, and it was super thin, and I actually saw that it was super thin and thought, oh, it'll be okay. But later on, I did notice some places on my nails that looked, after I buffed and did all the filing and shaping, I noticed there were places that you could see my natural nail color through it. So I wish I had gone in with the fourth layer, but I didn't. And you live and learn, and that's what this kind of application, this kind of thing is. You learn something new each time. It gets better each time. You just have to be patient and trust the process. So I'm going through again, putting on my third layer. I will also be putting on my second layer of glitter. I decided to stop because I was fully covered with 2 layers of glitter, but I should have gone in with the third, because later on one of those did break. Actually, both of those full color nails broke, or chipped. Not broke, but chipped. And so did a couple of the full color ones, because they were too thin. I'm super hard on my nails. I wash my hands a lot. And so I will forego a little bit. That's the wrong word. I will accept a little bit of a thicker nail for the strength. And sometime in the near future, I will teach you guys about the apex. My nail and my free edge is getting long enough now that I will need to do a little bit of an apex. And I'll explain that to you later. But there is a way to strengthen the nail and put a little bit more strength on the stress areas of the nail to keep them from breaking. But I'll teach you about that another time. But I'm going to go ahead and let you watch me work for a little while longer now. You can see here that there are several times that I go out of frame. I have edited this thing to death and cut out the parts where I was completely out of frame without you losing part of what I want you to see. So you may see me do both hands, you may see me do one hand, you may see me do one finger on one hand and 3 fingers on the other. I'm just showing you what you can actually see in the frame. I have a new arm tripod coming that will hopefully let me hang my camera directly overhead instead of in front of me, and I think that will help a lot. But I did want to say that earlier I said I was on my 3rd dip, but now I'm on my 3rd dip of color, and coming up soon you will see that I'm going to use a clear powder on top of all my nails. I have 2 separate ones, one for the glitter and one for the full color, because the glitter will get into the clear, and so you don't want that to be into your colors, obviously. And did I get some in there? Yes, I did. But if you'll see now as I'm doing these glitters, you'll see that I am wiping my brush off afterwards on the paper or on the little lint-free wipe, because I don't want the glitter to get into my base. I forgot about this. Now I'm doing an ombre. You use a cupcake liner to catch it. That can be used for a lot of things. It's an inexpensive little cut for you. But I'm using a makeup brush and I'm just dipping into the glitter and tapping the brush so that it just kind of lands randomly. I end up doing 2 layers of this, and I also end up dipping my finger directly into the glitter. You'll see on this one. I do that because I didn't feel like the concentration of the glitter was enough at the tip of the nail. And then I go in and do the rest of the ombre. But anyways, this is a fun way just to vary your different designs. And this is a really easy one. And you just keep on tapping on until you feel like you have what you want. I wouldn't have had to do a second layer, except that I decided there wasn't enough on there. So I put more base and I went back in for a second layer. But back to the clear. The clear is a way to encapsulate. If you go directly into filing onto glitter or directly into filing on your color, you can actually remove that color. Or if it's a colored glitter that's not silver, it's got some kind of coating on it, so you may take the color off and then you end up with silver glitter when you're intending on having pink. So the encapsulation is a way to have a layer between your glitter and your color, so that you can file and shape it the way you want, get out the lumps and bumps, do all the things that you need to do, and it protects the color underneath. It also gives you one more layer of strength. So I have a clear for my glitter and I have a clear for my full color, where I hopefully don't get very much. There's my clear for my full color. Hopefully I don't get any glitter into that. You'll see me on occasion with a little toothpick trying to pull things out. But this is a different, I didn't show this. This is a Savvyland clear powder I use on the glitter because that's what I've used before and I don't want to contaminate. And I use the Revel Vivian on my other fingers. But that's just a really good way to encapsulate your design and give you some room to buff. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't set your jar on top of your other jar. You will knock it over. You will do it just like I did. And I knew. Like when I set it up there, I said to myself, you're going to knock this over. And I did it anyway. I am a hard head, you guys, a hard head. So now I'm going through and encapsulating my color fingers, my Tiffany blue fingers or my mint green. It ended up being more of a mint green than a Tiffany blue, but it is still really pretty. I'm wearing it now. So I'm going to let you watch me finish encapsulating and I'll come back with the next steps. At this point, I'm just kind of showing you what we've got. I do not think I had, yes, I hadn't brushed off yet. Now I let them dry really good and now I'm brushing them off. And then we're going in with the next step, which is an activator. In essence, an activator hardens the resin and the powder on your nail, which allows you to file and buff and do all the things that you need to do. So this is the step. It is hardening the dip powder and the resin. So after you do this, I always do this twice. Even whenever I don't need to, I always go with I just put 2 layers on. And I almost always do all the color first and then the glitter. I'm just trying to keep the glitter off my color. Does it get on there anyway? Yeah. But I tried, okay? I tried. So this is hardening. Once I put this on, I wait about 2 minutes and let it get good and hardened before I start filing. You guys, filing is a whole different animal, and I thought about leaving it out and just doing a dedicated video to it, but I just really wanted you to see this process from start to finish. And so now you'll see me putting out these lint-free wipes, because when I start to do anything with activator, anything with top coat, you really need a place to wipe off your brush. And so I have those all sitting out. It's for a later step. But right now I am shaping. So I start off by going down each sidewall and shaping the tip. You really just do like a straight line down your sidewalls, and then I take the curved part and start to try to go around my cuticle. I do use an e-file afterwards, but this can all be done with a hand file. You would just continue on until you get your nail the shape and smoothness that you want. But you're just shaping it and filing it. Right now I'm just shaping it, going down the sidewalls and the tip area and getting the shape that I want and starting to smooth out the cuticle area. After that, I will just start going to town, filing. I kind of overdid it on some of the colored nails, but that was because, like I said, I probably should have put a 3rd coat. I was trying so hard to make it thin that I think I made it too thin. So, this is all a learning curve. You're going to jack things up each time. Eventually, you're going to know your troubleshooting. You're also going to know things that work for you, your skin, your nails, the way that you want them to look, and you'll figure it out. You just have to trust the process and be willing to go through the growing pains and getting over the hump of the learning curve. But right now, I'm really smoothing the surface, trying to mesh the cuticle area into my skin. You want the area by your sidewalls and your cuticle area to be really thin and flush with your natural nail. And so you do a lot of work there. And that's what I use my e-file for, really. But you just kind of want it to have a nice curve. You want it to be nice and smooth. You don't want any lumps and bumps. And you just do the best you can to smooth it out as much as you can. So I'm going to let you finish watching. I had a lot of this that I was out of frame. So this is probably jumping all over the place, but I'm going to let you continue to watch this, and I'll come back whenever I start with the E-file. Now it's time for the E-file, and I was not at all intimidated by this because I have some experience with it, and so you can totally not use an E-file and do it all with a hand file. This just makes it quicker and very smooth very quickly, but I am also using this at a very slow speed and being very careful. I use this predominantly to get down into my sidewalls and near my cuticle to really smooth that out. It does a great job of that. Not nearly as good at using the E-file with my non-dominant hand, but I still get the job done and do the best I can. But I think with time, it'll get better. You can see I try all these different ways of holding my hand, trying to get to it, but still have stability enough to not burn my skin or hurt my nail or any of those things. So if you're a brand new nail person, you may just want to stick with the hand file. It works fine, but there is a lot of filing. I think the better you get at application, the less filing you'll do. But after I get my sidewalls and cuticle area almost flush with my natural nail, I'll then go in and just go over top in a rolling motion to really smooth that out and give it a nice curve. And that's all it takes, y'all. And now this is a block buffer. I had to go back because I'm such a perfectionist. God help me. You use a little block buffer, and this is to really smooth it out. Any scratch marks or divots from the filing, this will really smooth it out. This is a final step. You want to get it as perfected as you can and just get it super duper smooth with this little buffer. So our next step is to brush off all the excess, and now we are activating again. Activator can be problematic, you guys, because it hardens resin. Well, the top coat is also resin. Therefore, once we go through and put another activator layer on, well, two, you let it wait for about 2 minutes, get good and hard, and then you take the lint-free wipes and wipe off all the excess. The reason is you don't want any activator getting on your top coat brush because it will make a rock of resin on your brush and run your brush and contaminate your top coat. So yeah, this is something I learned the hard way. That's what all the little wipes are for. You go through on your first top coat layer and you just do a quick run through, wipe your brush off in between. Therefore, you are not getting activator on your brush to stay, and you are not getting it into your bottle to contaminate your liquid. On a second layer, you go back through. By the time you get through one layer, it's time to go around for round two. On your second layer, you can be not so quick, more detailed, cap your ends, and take your time and really put a good, nice layer on. And I really think that this is a step that I need to be a little bit more careful with. Sorry for the focus. I don't know what to do about that, you guys. I did the best I could. But really take your time. Make sure it doesn't pull and flood your cuticle, because you'll end up with a ledge there, because your filing's done now. This is your very last step. So you want this to be a nice, smooth, precise 2 coats of top coat. And this is what gives you your shine. This is what seals everything in. So that's why you want to end cap here and be careful not to touch it. It does dry very quickly, but you definitely don't want to touch it right away. So that's what we've got. This is our final product. And if you look closely, you can see a few areas on the green nails that are a little bit see-through, and that's the reason why I wish I would have done a 3rd coat. But again, learning curve. Again, trust the process. Again, you will get it eventually. You learn as you go. After all the filing and all the assault that you've done on your nails and your skin around your nails, get yourself some Candy Skincare cotton candy scented cuticle oil. It gives your cuticles and the skin around your nails a beautiful bath of moisture and deliciousness with a yummy, I don't even know how to describe it other than yummy scent that just bathes your skin with moisture and delicious scent. That makes no sense. What? Anyways, get yourself some of this cotton candy scented oil. It smells delicious and it works wonderfully to give your nails some hydration back after you've just done all the things. So this is me trying to show you what I got. I will learn about filming. I really need to learn how to keep my workspace clean. But this is what you got, guys. I know you'll have some questions. I'll be glad to answer in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining me and taking part in my shenanigans. Peace. Love y'all. Take care and God bless, and I'll see you next time. Peace.